It's supposed to go like up to the.
Should run now, right? Get this air filter cover off. And
Yeah, we try and put a little bit of fresh gas down it, but it smelled like gas before, so it was getting gas. But
I don't know that I want to even try and start it.
no, I don't think we're to that point of worrying about that just yet.
Hey gang, one of the things that's becoming really apparent as we embark on this Resto project is that filming it in sequence is very difficult because you can start in one area and then you're spending time waiting for something to dry, so you go over and work on something else, or the weather turns to shit and then you're going to work on something else. So filming and jumping back and forth on these things is turning into a real challenge. I don't know how to do this stuff, right? So this is just a homebrew resto job and a homebrew video job from a person that's, you know, trying to give some hope to people, I guess. I'm 55 and don't know what to do, so you know, I don't go to work anymore. My wife thinks I should work. I probably should work, but just to maybe spur some ideas in people to do this stuff for themselves. But jumping back and forth means that you're filming seat work and then you're jumping into the engine bay. So this is part one of the engine bay. There's nothing mechanical yet because we're waiting on parts. We're up on Haida, so it takes time to get parts. There's nothing mechanical yet. It's just cleaning things up and getting some of the stuff out of the way that doesn't need to be in there, so that we can also get it cleaned up for when parts do arrive. So watch and enjoy. Thanks very much for your thoughts, and keep the advice coming because I do need it. Okay, well, time's come to pressure wash this engine bay. There's a couple of holes that we want to close up, like the carburetor. We want to also make sure that we cover up the alternator and the distributor, and then get some oil cloths on the ground underneath so that when we pressure wash it through, we don't wind up with a whole bunch of crap going down into the ground. On the recommendation of Super Williams, I'm going to go with Super Clean on this motor. And just make sure that we avoid, spray it on there, let it settle in a little bit, and then we'll just make sure that we avoid the alternator area. I'm going to start probably with the, I'm going to start by blasting off the motor itself, and then we'll get to the side panels. Let's get on it. The one and only best.
Yeah, you could probably hit everything kind of up here.
Yeah.
With the pressure washer, but I just wouldn't go back into there.
Okay. Look at what's coming out. Nasty. A little detail scrub on this. One thing that you may start to see a little bit of is me working with a headlamp on in the night, because it does get dark real early and it stays dark till late in the morning up on the Gwy. So, you know, I've been working at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I might need this on. in doing the cleanup in here, there's a lot of stuff that can just be tossed out and replaced, but I want to show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to take these hose clamps off, do a little clean in this area, and then put them right back on, and with new hose clamps. That is flip, Bella. There we go. Let's see if we can get around here. This bracket that's holding the alternator on is just filthy. It's just not sure how far down I'm going to be able to get, but I'll spray it down really good with the Super Clean, which is also conveniently available at Canadian Tire, which is also conveniently not something we have in Masset. Put it away. The antifreeze came off awful clean. I want this clamp to be on the far side of that flange, so we're going to push that way down.
This guy looks like he could be reused.
It's time to clean out the base of the air filter now. Got the top of it done yesterday, sanded down. This thing is going to need some work. We do have aftermarket ones, but I'm going to try and use as much of the original machine as I can. I'm going to scrub it first, then degrease it. All right, here we go. It's going to take some work. We shall persevere. Okay, rough sanding done. Down to the spray nine. Boom.
Morning, Dad. Hello.
Far easier to get this thing sanded down without all of those sensors on it. So I'll clean up the sensors. Again, spray nine. Okay, these guys into the bucket. The air filter post is really rusty, so I tried scrubbing it off. There's still quite a bit of rust on it. I found a bottle of Permatex rust dissolver gel. So this stuff apparently pretty toxic. So you brush it on, you leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you hose it off. So we'll see what this guy looks like in 5 to 10 minutes. Give it a shake, liberally apply. Just a standard toothbrush. Okay, so the rust dissolver gel appears to be a winner. I've got it scrubbed off pretty good. There is still rust on here, and I found this product online called Evapo-Rust. The idea is that it is non-toxic, no scrubbing needing, and it is reusable. So we're going to give it a try. Sounds amazing. Sounds a little too good to be true, but we'll see. get that guy in there. Apparently reusable, so depending on the severity of rust, soak for several hours. Check periodically. May require overnight. No need for scrubbing. All rust is removed. After all the rust is removed, take item from the solution and rinse with water. All right. We have some pretty extensive surface rust on there, and it is now 7:39. So I'm going to check on this at 8:39 and see how it's doing. Well, it's 8:39. Apparently the evapor rust needs a little bit more than an hour to go to work on this guy. Okay, so we fast forwarded to 12:35 because it's now been 5 hours this guy's been in here. And let's see if all the rust comes off. We're in a reasonably well vented area. I care reasonably little about the overspray situation here, and it's time. And when you lift the hood, this is the first thing you see, so we want to make it look decent. It's never going to look great, but we want to make it look decent. In doing the pressure washing and the removal of the rust, there are a couple of holes that go straight through here. I'm going to clean that up with some Tyco tape, and I'm going to do that on the underside so that you can't see it from the top, because that would just look nasty. So put that on, and then get a coat of primer, black primer, and then 2 coats of high heat enamel for the top.
You see all this stuff, when you put it in place, it does not move. So I'm just going to do a box of 4. Now we'll cover all the holes. Press it down so it gets into all the grooves. Actually, probably only need 3, but that's still 4 anyway. There we go, Mom. No more holes.
This stuff is not cheap up on the Guai. It's like 20 bucks a can for this, which is what, probably 25% more than you're paying down at the coast. There we go. Part of cleaning the car up is the engine bay. And I don't know anything about engines. Bobby's been really clear on that. But crooked. Don Cherry. So I don't know anything about engine bays or engines, but what I do know is how to unscrew shit and get it away so that I can get things cleaned up. We removed the jack holder here. We're attempting to remove the battery stand or battery platform, but there are 13 mil screws, 2 here, 1 here, 2 at the back, 2 up top, and that one appears to be broken off.
Slow, I'm kind of on it, but I can't center these vice grips.
Seems to be getting tighter. So I'm going to try and reuse as many of these relays as I can, but I don't know, that looks in pretty rough shape. Tomorrow's project. And I got the jack handle, but no jack, so I'm going to have to try and lay my hands on another one of those. And all the bolts that come with them. So I wanted to take those off so I could get them cleaned up and painted, and then get better access and to clean up the engine bay. On the other side, on the driver's side, is a bunch of bottles, like a radiator overflow and the washer fluid. So those are going to have to come off, and that is going to give us access to some of the fuel system that we have to replace as well. So I'm going to take those off a little later today, but I wanted to get these guys cleaned up. Let's get on it. I think we're probably going to start with just a rough brush first. Get that steel scrub brush out, get all of this excess gross debris off, so that we can see what's underneath and what we have to do with it. Step one, as with always, brush the crap out of. So we're assuming the scrubbing position. We got a beautiful morning coming up here on the Kauai. Got a steaming hot cup of... You're wondering about the mug, eh? CCFR, Canadian Coalition of Firearm Rights. That's right, card carrying member up here in the Great White North. But I don't want to get political. You're down in the States right now. You guys got a big choice coming up. And I don't envy you, but I will tell you, be careful about going down the road of socialism. I need a hip surgery. I got a letter from the other day from this clinic down in Vancouver. Finally, after calling them 3 times, see, because they don't need your business, right? Your business is coming. I had to call them 3 times to get a referral sorted out for a date to be seen for this hip surgery that I need. I got 2 bones rubbing together. It hurts. The referral is 12 to 18 months out. Welcome to socialized medicine. Be careful what you ask for. The other thing you guys have down there, people are a little bit more careful about coming onto your property and doing stuff. Not so much up here. Just be real careful what you ask for down there. I can talk about guns. Love to talk about guns. We go over it really good, then hit it with the pressure washer, and probably have to brush on some of that Permatex. But this is going to be boring, and you don't want to hear about that. So, and you probably didn't care to hear from my political point of view. Not that I have a political point of view, but I kind of do. Let's hold them off. I've done the same process on both. I'm not going to bother showing the process on the jack holder. It's going to be the exact same as it is here. So let's put a coat of black primer on, and then high heat gloss block. High heat gloss, but primer first, and then high heat gloss. Let's get on it. That's right. So because a guy like me with ADHD needs coping mechanisms in order to keep himself organized, thought maybe I'd take a little bit of a tour and show you exactly how it is that I get access to all the tools and what I'm doing with these parts after they're taken off and cleaned and restored, because for some of them it could be months before they go back on. So in the shop, which Jerry spent years building this stuff up. So tape measures, tape, electric sanders, soldering, brushes and rollers, sandpaper, car battery stuff. Over here, saw blades and drill bits, screwdrivers. Like, the guy had everything. Olfa knives, pencils, lighters, coffee, right? Levels. The amount of screws that we're going to have access to, bolts, right? That's some of it. Here's where I'm keeping a lot of the cleaning chemicals and other small parts, halogen bulbs, that sort of thing. Right. Other tools like soldering iron, gun care, don't forget your gun care, extra gloves. These are the tubs that I'm putting small amounts of pieces of things that I'm still working on, right? And then into the back, once something's done, I figured what I'd do is almost set up a little bit of a dehumidification area, just so that everything stayed reasonably dry, because it may be here for months. This isn't exactly a sealed building, so I want to make sure I'm keeping the moisture out. So setting tubs in here for things that are done and ready to be reinstalled. See, so I've got dashboard parts in here, right? Air filter. This area will build up. Probably have to move some of these things over time because this stuff's going to build up, and I got to remember where everything went. So this will help me because I'm just that kind of guy that can't remember this stuff otherwise. Anyway, just a little bit of a thought for if you decide to try to take something on like this and you have severe ADHD, right? Get yourself organized so that you've got systems that'll keep you from losing your mind. Okay, so these boys have had about 30 minutes to sit, so we can top coat them now. Oh, my coffee's ready. Nice. Hey boys, dry. Hopefully you've just seen this thing fixed up, painted, looking nice and ready to go back in. But it's clear that this whole engine bay thing, which includes some mechanical repairs, I mean, the air filter video alone, the air filter section of this video alone was going to be its own separate video, about 30 minutes long, showing you crap that you don't want to see, you're not going to stick around for. But the engine itself it's a pretty big thing, right? There's a lot of parts that have to get replaced in there. It is going to take 3 or 4 videos over time. So I'm just going to stop this one here, where we've got an initial pressure wash done, got a few parts removed. We're starting to clear out the engine bay so that we can really get down in there and restore this thing back to its original 80s magic. I mean, we've got some other videos coming too. You know, the dashboard's insane on this thing. Like, talk about 1980s Spartak technology. Here's a preview. Anyway, still haven't spent a whole lot of money. At this point, we are, well, $680. $500 for the car, $180 for my initial parts from Rock Auto, the United States. Thank you guys for shipping that up here cheap. And $680 plus we added $70 in paint because it's not cheap to get paint up on the Guai. So we're now up to $750. Cha-ching.